Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff. Today, I'm reviewing the song Casimir Pulaski Day by Sufjan Stevens. As always, the song comes to you as a request from one of you, my viewers. So if you want to request something, just leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to add it to my list. So I've heard, I think two other songs by Sufjan Stevens. I've heard Come On Feel the Illinois, which fantastic song. I love it. It's on my playlist. I listen to it pretty regularly, actually. The other one I've heard from him is Feudal Devices, which also a really good song. Pretty sad, so don't listen to it all the time, but I like it. I like that song a lot. So far I've really enjoyed what I've heard from him, so looking forward to this one. I see it comes off of that same album, Come On Feel the Illinois, so really excited. I hope it has that sort of same vibe and same energy to it, I guess, but we'll check it out. So here we go. This is, again, Casimir Pulaski Day by Sufjan Stevens.
Goldenrod and the 4-H stone, the things I brought you when I found out you had cancer of the bone.
Eek. Oof.
Your father cried on the telephone, and he drove his car into the Navy Yard just to prove that he was sorry. In the morning, through the window shade, when the light pressed up against your shoulder blade, I could see what you were reading. All the glory that the Lord has made, and the complications you could do without, when I kissed you on the mouth. Tuesday night at the Bible study, we lift our hands and pray over your body, but nothing ever happens. I remember at Michael's house in the living room when you kissed my neck and I almost touched your blouse. In the morning at the top of the stairs, when your father found out what we did that night, and you told me you were scared. All the glory when you ran outside with your shirt tucked in and your shoes untied, and you told me not to follow you. Sunday night, when I clean the house, I find the card where you wrote it out with the pictures of your mother. On the floor at the Great Divide, with my shirt tucked in and my shoes untied, I am crying in the bathroom. In the morning, when you finally go, and the nurse runs in with her head hung low, and the cardinal hits the window. In the morning, in the winter shade, on the 1st of March, on the holiday, I thought I saw you breathing. All the glory that the Lord has made, and the complications when I see his face in the morning in the window. all the glory when he took our place. But he took my shoulders and he shook my face. And he takes, and he takes, and he takes.
Absolutely heartbreaking song. Absolutely heartbreaking song. Wow, that was so impactful. I mean, that was a fantastic song. I liked it a lot. But damn, what a bummer. But damn, what a song. So let's talk about it. Let's jump straight into it. Okay. I mean, this is a song that we got to talk about the lyrics. So. Let's see, a little bit of information about it. It says this song details the events that surround the death of the narrator's female friend and the crisis of faith that it triggers for the narrator. I was actually just thinking, like, man, how can you still have faith after something like that? Because he does mention God a couple of times throughout the song. Yeah, so he goes through a crisis of faith when that happens. Some read this as chronological narration of events, others as a stream of consciousness, narration of past events that also includes more recent occurrences. Sufjan Stevens' songs often elicit religious undertones that only strengthen the messages without becoming consumed with biblical references. Sufjan told Adequacy that the correlation between his faith and his music exists because he believes faith does not influence us, rather it lives within us. Interesting, okay. This absolves me from ever making the embarrassing effort to gratify God and the church by imposing religious content on anything I do. Interesting. Okay, that's a very interesting and I feel like unique take on that. Casimir Pulaski Day is a holiday in Illinois that honors a Polish cavalry soldier in the American Revolutionary War. The lyrics in the song show Stevens' serious questioning of his religion. However, the music at the end of the song shows that this experience with death only brought Sufjan closer to God. Okay. The song describes a friend or a girlfriend who died on Casimir Pulaski Day. In Illinois, if a loved one dies, you get the day off from work or school on said day. But since she died on a holiday, he has to suffer without a break. So, basically, he doesn't get like that extra day off. He's already off on the holiday. Wow, look at these fucking song titles. They're long as hell. Okay, so yeah, and it mentions that this song, Casimir Pulaski Day, is kind of a holiday recognized in Illinois. So I'm assuming, and I think actually I read this in the last song I did. This whole album is kind of like a tribute to Illinois, to Chicago. So yeah, I mean, he had to work it in there somewhere, I guess. But anyway, let's take a look at those lyrics. Goldenrod and the 4-H stone. The things I brought you when I found out you had cancer of the bone. So very clearly his girlfriend or his friend, whoever it is, had like bone cancer, bone marrow cancer, something like that. Your father cried on the telephone and he drove his car into the Navy Yard just to prove that he was sorry. In the morning, through the window shade, when the light pressed up against your shoulder blade, I could see what you were reading, all the glory that the Lord has made, and the complications you could do without when I kissed you on the mouth. So already kind of going through this hard time, and assuming they're maybe teenagers, like even harder to fall in love, or at least to have a relationship and also be going through something like this. Tuesday night at the Bible study, we lift our hands and pray over your body, but nothing ever happens. And so I think that's right there where I was immediately like, yeah, I mean, that is the shaken faith there, right? Where it's like we pray, and you always hear about the power of prayer, right? But nothing ever happens. I remember at Michael's house in the living room when you kissed my neck and I almost touched your blouse. I read that as just being like awkward teenagers. So this probably happened when he was quite young, if I'm reading it kind of correctly. In the morning at the top of the stairs, when your father found out what we did that night, and you told me you were scared. All the glory when you ran outside with your shirt tucked in and your shoes untied, and you told me not to follow you. So, they got a little busy, it's okay, it's whatever. They're still teenagers. Again, I read this as them being really young and just and full of passion, regardless of the awful situation that they're in. Sunday night when I cleaned the house, I found the card where you wrote it out with the pictures of your mother. I wonder if there's more context on this. Since Casimir Pulaski Day, the day she dies, is always observed on a Monday, this is most likely the night before her death. Damn! It's also possible he's talking about his own house at a later time, closer to the writing of the song, since clean the house is usually used by people in reference to their own home. Maybe this was a card that the girl wrote to the narrator to announce her diagnosis, or it could be a card that she wrote to her mother as a farewell message. That's kind of what I'm getting from it, with photos of the two of them together for her to keep as a memento. That's kind of how I read that part. So, on the floor at the Great Divide, with my shirt tucked in and my shoes untied, I am crying in the bathroom. So this is probably like the person who put this together said, like after verse 5, that's probably when she passes away. So then in verse 6, we're seeing him crying and mourning. In the morning when you finally go and the nurse runs in with her head hung low and the cardinal hits the window. In the morning in the winter shade on the 1st of March on the holiday, and so there it is, Casimir Pulaski Day. I thought I saw you breathing. All the glory that the Lord has made, and the complications when I see his face in the morning in the window. All the glory when he took your place, but he took my shoulders and he took my face, and he takes and he takes and he takes. So again, I think that's the crisis of faith there, where it's like, you hear the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, right? But in this last part, he's just like, the Lord just keeps taking and taking and taking. So again, having that sort of crisis of faith. But then I like what the person who kind of put this whole analysis together said was, that brighter, sort of poppier music at the end with the horns and everything sort of made it feel like even though he went through this crisis, even though he was shaken, he kind of still felt confident in his faith. I definitely got that vibe from that as well. So, man, lyrically, this one gives you goosebumps. This is like, and the thing is, I mean, obviously it's a true story, right? Like he knows somebody who went through this. And it's something that people go through all the time. I mean, I hate to say it, but people get cancer every day. Someone's loved one gets cancer every day and struggles through that. And so I feel like lyrically this is a song that a lot of people can probably relate to. And probably touches a whole lot of people. I mean, it touches me right now. Like just hearing it is so sad, and you definitely don't blame him for going through that crisis of faith. I mean, just a gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful song. Lyrically, for sure, I got to give this one 2 thumbs up. So as far as the instrumentation goes, I want to take a quick look here. So written by Sufjan, recorded by him as well, engineered, arranged. So the trumpets, I guess I'll start at the end. Like I said, when those trumpets come in, and so the song kind of picks up and gets a little bit brighter at the end. Again, I read that as like, hey, even though this is really sad and unfortunate, like for him, life goes on, and for him, he has to find a way to move through. And so that's kind of how I read that last part, was just like he has to find peace within himself, and that's sort of him finding his peace. So gorgeous way to end the song too, of just not being like sort of giving up, or not being I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but just like a complete pessimist, but instead saying like there are brighter days ahead. The only way to go is up. At this point, so yeah, great job on the trumpets there. Really brought like a nice element to the end of the song. Throughout the song, you sort of get the guitar, and I don't know what else he was playing there. Maybe like a banjo, it almost sounded like, but regardless, it was a gorgeous song. Really went well with his vocal style and with the lyrics. You could definitely feel the emotion, sort of the suffering in those notes there. So great job instrumentally, and like I said, his voice sounds great. I mean, I love the way he sang this one. You could definitely tell the sort of lamenting, mourning tone of it, but sort of also the beautiful, like, these are times that we enjoyed sort of vibe from it. So man, he really knocked this one out of the park, instrumentally and vocally. I got to give it 2 big thumbs up for sure. As far as replay value goes, I got to give it high marks because this is a beautiful song. Like I said, very relatable lyrically, excellently produced and played instrumentally. But it's a sad fucking song, so it's not the kind of song that you probably want to listen to all the time, especially if you're listening to music to like be in a good mood and to chill. So definitely not a song I'm gonna listen to all the time just because of the lyrical content and just it's that kind of song. But it's a gorgeous song, so I for sure want it on my playlist. And I'm still going to give it 2 thumbs up for replay value, because it's not really the song's fault, I guess, that I don't want to be sad all the time. It's a gorgeous song, so fantastic request. Thank you so much for whoever requested this one. Really enjoyed it. As always, if you want to request something, just leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to add it to my list. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, of course, go support the artist. Go listen to his music wherever you can. And if you want to support me, just, all the stuff you do on YouTube, like it, subscribe, and comment. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't bum you out too much. And, well, I hope to see you for the next one. Bye for now.